Oh, last night was one of those super long nights that feels like it'll never end. It was very cold and just very restless. Couldn't get much sleep at all. I'm warming up with a good fire, and I got a hot donut, hot coffee on the way, so at least I can get warm. But hopefully it gets nice out today so I can rest in the hammock, catch up on sleep there. I can always sleep in the hammock right now, but I'm having a lot of trouble sleeping on my sleeping mat after a whole summer of doing so. The back's just not in a good spot. Oh yeah, and I found 4 D batteries, which are now in here, in the fire last night, burnt. Burning batteries is not smart. Oh, that was an ember going into my windscreen. That's not ideal. Yeah, batteries, don't put them in the fire. Not good. A motorboat came in yesterday and set up camp right across from me. That's their boat right there. And they're running a generator this morning. I don't know why you need a generator out here. I just don't really get why you come out to the backcountry to just use the tools you have at home and the comforts that you have at home. But not everyone thinks like me, I know that. But I don't know, I think you should employ your body physically in places like this and wherever you can, because exercise is so important for so many reasons. For one, depression. If you exercise, you also sleep better, and exercise and good sleep, in my non-medical opinion, is the most important thing to fending off depression. Plus, when you exercise a lot, you can eat 2 donuts and a cinnamon bun for breakfast. And that tastes good. Before they were introduced to metal, a lot of ancient cultures used stones to boil their water by putting the stones into water in some sort of basin, perhaps like a wood-carved basin. And I've never tried it, and I want to. I've got my little pot here with, it's a 1.5 liter pot, and it's about a third full. And I've got a stone here with about the volume of a baseball. And I'm going to try putting it in there and see if that will boil it or even come close to boiling it. Just curious. It's getting there. I don't know if it's going to come to a boil with that. I don't think so, but there's steam rising and the water is warm. It's still squealing, and there are some bubbles rising on that side there. Yeah, that's not going to do it. It's 8:30 now, and it's just comfortable enough to be in the hammock with my sleeping bag. And the generator is still going. It's been on and off. And I don't mind. It's I chose a front country site, no portages. They have every right to use it. But I'm genuinely curious why. I've thought about it, and I could imagine them, like if they brought a coffee maker and they want electricity to run it, or the other thing I thought of was a water pump if they ran a hose to the lake, so they can have running water. but that's all I can come up with, and neither of those seem like an efficient strategy when you could just make coffee in much easier ways in the backcountry. Or and for water, yeah, I mean, it's not hard to go to the water. All the campsites are on the water. Curious. Anyway, it's been my reading day. It's windy, and in the forecast it said it would be windier even than yesterday, which is very windy. So I don't want to be in the canoe in those conditions. So time to hit the books. I've been getting some little bites around here, probably little walleye, but nothing big. So I just put on the, oh, how do you get hit there? I put on the rip and wrap and I got out my spinning reel because I can just really whip it out there, increase my range. Not usually much for shore fishing. I mean, when I've got the canoe, why would I? But it's just brutally windy, and I'm trying to rest my body, so there's no way I'm going out in the canoe unless the wind settles down. I did get a little fish on here. It's just a tiny smallie, one of the smallest smallmouth bass I've ever caught. The length of your finger. If I get a walleye or a pike today, I'll probably keep it. I was hoping to get lunch just now, but I think I'll give it a rest for a bit and try again for dinner. Cast a mile right now with the wind blowing this way with my cast. Kind of fun. For lunch I've got toasted pita bread because they don't have naan bread hardly anywhere up north, with palak paneer. It's really good. Kitchens of India. They make good stuff. Almost 5 o'clock now, and I've been in the hammock for hours, just reading. It's still very, very windy, and not canoeing weather. It's still very good. All right, it's evening. The wind has finally stopped snarling, and I'm going back to where I caught the 7-pound walleye last year. I haven't had a chance to get there yet, so that'll be fun. Never know, could happen again. Fish are as habitual as any other creature. Could catch the same fish. But fishing's been pretty slow on this trip. I haven't done a lot of it, and when I have, the cold front seems to have really slowed everything down. But that's supposed to clear up for the next 6 days. Forecast is looking amazing, and I'm starting another trip tomorrow, so that's great. I got some red wine, which is nice, but I just had carrots, and that is perhaps the worst wine pairing of all time. And when I get back to camp, I'm gonna make that popcorn and have a fire. And the sky is supposed to clear up. It's starting to now. Actually, you can there's a pretty distinct edge to this cloud there. Right up there. So, it's all blowing over. Things are looking up. Oh, and man, that sun feels amazing. I haven't really had sun since that wind picked up. Which was like, I don't know, 2 days ago almost. Well, I've arrived at the bay where I caught that fish last year, and naturally I'm going to throw the same lure I threw then, which is a Freedom jig head with these translucent speckled paddle tails that I love. And I'm going to throw the anchor. I know, as I've said before, people would scoff at bringing an anchor on backcountry trips, but it's invaluable for angling. Not only when you want to anchor, but I just throw it over the side there. It's tied on just like 2 feet off the side. I just tie it onto the seat. It's right here. And now I've got a drift sock, and it's surprising how much it slows you down. Really helps. And Wicksteed is looking really just beautiful right now. So great to see that sun. And hey, my little caterpillar friend is back, the neon green one. I left him in the canoe and he's not going anywhere. He's been here the whole time. He likes it. I like it too. You're smart. Oh yeah. On the subject of talking to caterpillars, I have been alone for about 8 of the last 11 weeks. Solitude. So naturally I am somewhat starved for human contact. So naturally, when the group returned to their site, I eavesdropped, and I think they left the generator on to run an aerator on their minnows. So I ran a generator all day so that they could use minnows on a lake up north, where if you are half decent angler, you can still catch fish. Different mentalities. The camera has largely become the Wilson on my solo trips, but I'm fond of this little feller. He's cool. Yeah. He's not camera shy. Whenever I've recorded him, he's always reaching for the camera. He's a star. Anyway, for the remainder of this trip, he's my Wilson. Go over there so I don't step on you. He's right under the front seat. I wonder if he'll help paddle. So I figured that my chances of catching another big fish here, and perhaps the same fish, hinged upon me finding a great rock pile in this bay that we located last year. And I just spotted it. So now I'm paddling away from it. I'm going to drop anchor well away from it, and then have the wind push me close to it within casting distance. And I'm going to work that one spot for the rest of my day, which is about 30-40 minutes until it's going to be dark. And this is probably good. I'm going to drop anchor quietly. This is walleye fishing. Keep you posted. This caterpillar is actually hilarious. So I blew him under the front seat there about 20 minutes ago. And he's crawled back and up to the camera. And he's now reaching his way up to it. Fish on, but wrong species. It's a smallie. Whoa. Come here. I don't care if he gets off, so grab the line. There he goes, perfect. Wasn't too big. Got me excited there for a second. Alright, changing tactics. It's pretty dark now, so I just changed it up. Going with this glow-in-the-dark paddle tail, and like I think all glow-in-the-dark lures, if you shine a light on it, it absorbs the light and then it emits it. So it's a lot more visible now that it's dark. Not that it really matters for a walleye while I can see the the other lure too, but it just increases the visibility, and that doesn't hurt. Alright, no dice. But like any good angler, I can blame it on the cold front. It's cold front's fault. However, I remain hopeful that I can catch a walleye trolling on the way back to camp. Hey, caterpillar, bet you 100 aphids I can get a walleye on the way back to camp. What? Okay, he says I'm an idiot. Well, you're just a stupid caterpillar. You're not even a butterfly. You're stupid. Anyway, sorry about that. A little domestic going on here. I don't know where my island is anymore. I know the direction, but I can't see it. It's dark. Thankfully, I have the incessant cement truck-like rumbling of a gas-powered generator to follow, so I'm just going to follow that back. There we go. Just trying to pull up the anchor. It's caught on something. Alright. Trolling time. It's a kilometer and a bit back to camp, so there's hope.